chapter number 2. They don't even let me read the scripture. They cut the timer right on when we start reading the scripture. They don't even let me get through the scripture. It's like all your time is included in this. Amen. So them boys rough on that time. I want you to hear this. Very rare will you see pastor do a split text. Today you see me deal with the split text, but it's in the same chapter. The reason is because what I'm teaching today is about 30 verses. And so instead of reading all 30, we kind of split them so that we can get the gist of what we're going to be teaching. I want you to hear it. I want you to hear this text. Then Daniel went home and told his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, what had happened. Now, if you were to ask most persons in church who those persons are, majority of people won't be able to identify them by that name. Right. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. He went home and told his friends what had happened. Watch this. He urged them to ask the God of heaven to show them by his mercy, by telling them the secret, so they would not be executed along with the other wise men of Babylon. Watch the text. Then the king appointed Daniel to a high position and gave him many valuable gifts. He made Daniel ruler over the whole province of Babylon, as well as chief over all his wise men. This is what I want y'all to hear. Do me a favor, wake your neighbor up right here. Say, need to be woke for this right here. At Daniel's request, is this thing on? Watch this. Destiny says, at Daniel's request, the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be in charge of, let the church say all. It says Aisha to be in charge of all the food line. All the affairs of the province of Babylon. While Daniel remained in the king's court. I want to say that one more time. You don't move yet, Joe. At Daniel's request, I don't want that to go over our head, Kurt, because the text says at Daniel's request, the king appointed. Hold for a minute. So at Daniel's request, the king makes a move. Bible says he appoints Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be in charge of all. Let the church say all. To be in charge of all the affairs of the province of Babylon, while Daniel remained in the king's court. I want to take the next few moments. Keisha, I want to take the next few moments, darling. And here's what I want to teach. Show me your friends. See, that's why I had to get here today, because there's a word in here that I need the saints to hear. Show me your friends. Look at your neighbor and say, hey, neighbor. Hey, neighbor. Show them to me. Show them to me. Show me your friends. You better have been here today, boy. Show me your friends. Here's what I want to start with. I got quite a few PowerPoints today, so this is a teaching sermon again. So I want y'all to hear this. Here's the one thing that you got to know. Everyone has been shaped by their relationships. I just want to come in, moments, and let that just kind of sink into the atmosphere. Let it kind of soak in here a little bit today. That everyone has been shaped by their relationships. It's interesting right down through in here, saints, because whether you realize it or not, you are the sum total of all the key relationships in your life up to now. Can I say it one more time? You are the sum total of all the key, let the church say key relationships in your life up to now. Now, here's how I know the Lord gave me this sermon. I know he gave me this one. How I know, Brother Preacher, he gave it to me this morning. I got home last night right at 2 o'clock. And so, you know, we out here getting ready because we got to do what we got to do. Amen, somebody. And so we out here, and I'm getting ready, and one of my good friends, Mother May, one of my good friends posted something this week that I'm actually going to quote him in this sermon. While I am sitting at my desk this morning, Orange, out of the clear blue. Kurt, it's crazy because this is the pastor when I go to the Cowboys Redskins game down there, I preach for. We ain't talked in, I know, 3 months. Out of the clear blue this morning, he texted me, stand tall, preach well. They have no idea what's going on in my life. Right. But really, beneath that for me was the quote that I'm putting in this sermon. The one who said it this week just texted me. I screenshotted Elder Grant and sent it to him. And he sent back, wow, bro, stand tall. And so here's what he said. This right here gonna bless you. Make sure your circle of friends inspire you and not conspire against you. And then he said, to close out the quote, be sure those in your camp are truly in your corner, unquote. Pastor James Simmons, eminent pastor of the Good Samaritan Baptist Church in Washington, D.C. Wow. Make sure your circle of friends inspire you and not conspire against you. Be sure those in your camp are truly in your corner. Yes, Lord. I told that boy, I said, boy, and he does this thing every week called Simmons Says. And that's what he said this week. So what's interesting, saints of God, because now that I see what my boy Simmons has said, now I want to show you what the Bible says. I'm using the Living Bible translation right here. And I'm show you what the Bible says. Everybody has some screenshot. On that celebration church. Proverbs 27:19. Now watch this. Says, I want y'all to hear this because this is coming out the Bible. A mirror reflects a man's face. But what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. Look at your neighbor and say, that's in your Bible. And so what's interesting right down through in here is this. It relates back to the old adage of what all of us have heard at some point in our lives, birds of a feather. And it is of the utmost importance that you know the difference. Here is really what I want to kind of build the sermon in and around, that you've got to understand the difference between an associate and a friend. They're not one and the same. And the church said, amen. And so when we look at this, you've got to know here that most people place associates in the friend category. Now, I know I'm right. Most people place associates in the friend category. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in the sermon once we get through it a little bit more, maybe in the body. But the reason I know most people place associates in the friend category is because I follow most of y'all on Facebook. Look at this, so we'll come back to that. And so here's what's interesting, y'all, because when we look at it, it's interesting that most people place associates in the friend category, and surrounding ourselves with the right people is one of the most important steps in our spiritual journey. Surrounding ourselves with the wrong people is an indication we have misaligned our purpose and willfully negotiate our destiny. Now, our view is blurred by associates who are opportunists, salivating for the moment to replace you. It's in our text. I'm not making it up. It's in Finding Freedom. It's in our text. The king is troubled. He big mad. And around him are a bunch of phony, fickle, and fake folk who hang around trying to gain their next promotion at someone else's expense. He has a peculiar dream and is beside himself because his circle is a bunch of contaminated opportunists and not persons who commit to help him expand the kingdom And because they are opportunists, what he does when he finds it out is he begins to issue death warrants. It's in Daniel chapter 2. Now watch this. Listen to me. You can't afford to waste time on people who only need you because they use you, because once they do, they crap on you and take the toilet paper with them. And so you have to locate. Let the church say locate. You've got to locate God-fearing friends who understand the importance of their assignment, who understands the importance of your assignment, and refuse to allow you to be anything less. Do me a favor. Look at somebody and say, keep it real. Keep it real. And so you've got to be able to do that. Here's why. If we're looking to walk fully in the freedom and healing God has called us to, we need the support of a community of other believers moving in the same direction. What direction is that, Pastor? God's direction. Let the church say God's direction. Now listen to me. Here's what I want you to hear. We all face moments when we don't know how to keep going. Now in church we come and look deep. But everybody faces a moment where you just want to throw your hands up and say that, you know what I'm saying.
Go ahead,
All y'all finished that before I even finished the thought. And so we all face moments when we don't know how to keep going. When our faith is stretched to the breaking point. When we need the loving support of others to see us through. I know you big, bad, and independent. I'm at the front of the line. But the other day I put something on Facebook that I really believe. Everybody needs somebody sometime.
That's right. That's true.
I'm convinced of such that everybody needs somebody sometime. And so when we look at this then in this vein, saints, we've got to understand when our faith is stretched to that breaking point, that's real talk. So I've got to let this be known, Celebration. Can y'all hear me real good? Facebook has lied to you.
Lord.
Instagram has lied to you. Snapchat lies to you. Twitter, lying. Because when you talk about friends, it's much more than an accept. See, I'm gonna come clean with y'all. Jamal and I became friends on Facebook maybe a little less than a month ago. We were standing beside each other. Right or wrong? We standing beside each other. Now, here's the way I normally look at it. Can I just keep it real? The way I normally look at it is when somebody friends me, I look at who they friends with. If there's a particular number of mutual friends, if you do that, I just hit accept. Because for me, Facebook ain't where I'm really looking for friends.
Right.
It's a platform. Amen, somebody. So I'm, you got to watch who you friend, because some folks will put some stuff on your page that you got to block.
Yes, that's right.
And some of y'all need to learn how to block.
Yes.
That's another sermon.
Yeah, that's right.
Because some of the stuff on our pages, boy, like this new SpongeBob thing getting out of control. I'm going to head out. See, y'all looking at me like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. All the young folk about to fall out their seat. Because there's some stuff that they be saying, boy, and then down there, they'll say, all right, I'm about to head out. I looked at a couple of them, and I think this right here is above my pay grade. Block. I don't even want that to get in my spirit, boy. I saw $1. Oh my God, I can't believe Facebook ain't take this off. I was saying SpongeBob off the chain. Somebody need to take him to church. Okay, I'm going to leave SpongeBob alone because I don't know if some of y'all been using it.
Oh, Lord.
Amen, somebody. But Facebook has lied because the first thing that we'll go and see is how many friends we got on Facebook. Can I just be honest with y'all? Y'all don't know 3/4 of them. We don't know 3/4 of the people we friends with on Facebook. Let me come clean. I don't. I walked, me and Leon was somewhere the other day. Lady said, I'll be following you on Facebook. That means we friends. I don't got no clue who this lady is, but God bless you. Keep following. But at the end of the day, people are saying, we friends on Facebook. We've now watered down the term friend. And so when we look at it now, we've allowed, a social media outlet to frame how we look at friends. And I'm here to tell you that if you allow social media to frame how you look at friends, I couldn't even say what just came to mind, Papa. You're going to be without a lot of friends. Because one day they'll post something good.
Right.
And next day, and then
you're mad.
And church said,
Amen.
Amen, saints. So you got to watch that now. So let it be known, Facebook done lied to you don't have that many friends. It's probably boosting your ego for somebody that admire their friends list on Facebook, but the truth of the matter is we don't know them.
Right.
And so this leads us into really what I want to teach, because I don't want to hold us too long. The Cowboys game coming on. And so I want to make sure that we get through this. The first thing that we've got to understand, let the church say revelation.
Revelation.
All right, now, Pastor, how does this apply to what we're teaching? Allow me to explain. In the word revelation, there's a word that stands out, reveal. Ooh, Jesus. I ask the Lord all the time, reveal, remove, replace. Amen, somebody. So in that word, let the church say reveal. Reveal. Now watch this. It's an uncovering or an unveiling. Daniel is faced with a life or death situation centered around somebody else's dream, Tim. Daniel is at the house chilling. He ain't bothering nobody. What's up, yo? I'm here to kill you. Do what? Yeah, I'm here to kill you. The king said that I got to come out here and take all the wise men out. Hold on a minute. You get ready to take me out? Why? Well, the king had a dream, and ain't none of y'all as deep as y'all say y'all are. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
This is in your Bible. We need to read the Bible. I'm telling you, it's an amazing book. I'm telling you. Daniel chapter number 2. And so when we begin to look at this, problem is when Arioch, this is the commander of the king's guard, is there to carry out the king's decree to kill the wise men, Daniel skillfully requests a meeting with the king, and he goes to meet with the king, and the king gives him an extension. He goes to the king, bruh, can you give me a few moments to kind of figure out what's going on here and let me get back with you before you just decide to take all the wise men out? The king said, okay, all right, well, I'll give you a little time. Now watch what happens. This is why I want you to stay close with Pastor down through here. Daniel doesn't go to Facebook. I know he didn't have it back then, but I'm really talking to you. He didn't go to Twitter. He didn't take a picture of the king, a selfie, and post it. Daniel went to his friends. I hope we're going to get this in a minute. That Daniel went to his friends. Now, let's kind of recapitulate that so that we can understand exactly where we are. Let's recalibrate it the right way. So when we look at this, then, he goes to his friends, and here's why I put this in the manuscript. You need some friends that can get a prayer through.
Yes.
Y'all with me there? See, I'm talking about friends, dog. I'm talking about friends. You need some friends that can get a prayer through. You don't need no friends, you trying to get a prayer through and they busy twerking. No, you need to get a prayer through. You need some friends where you can get a prayer through. You don't need nobody that's going to talk about what y'all praying about. You need somebody that can help you do what? Get a prayer through. Yes. Lives are on the line.
Yes.
Daniel goes to his friends. That is a word right there, Angie. Because how many friends do you have that you can go to and you're confident they can get a prayer through?
Come on now. Come on.
Now, I want you to understand something. Don't be fooled by Facebook because it's not going to be 2,000. The text shows us 3. 3. Let the church say 3. So stop thinking you got a whole grove of friends, because I'm telling you right now, you don't know the difference between a friend and an associate.
Come on.
And if you try to put an associate in a friend's category, I'm telling you right now, that's not going to work. Because an associate is anointed to be an associate. A friend is somebody who can step to you.
That's right.
Now, going out on a limb, I think my parents love me. Going out on a limb. But like this morning, when I was sitting at my desk, they came in, how you doing, son? I said, I'm doing good. You know, they know I got in late. I was like, man, I hope I ain't got no bags on my stuff. You know, I'm trying, I put the little stuff, cucumbers on my stuff last night. So you know about that. And so then Pop looks at Mom and said, come here. What is getting ready to happen here? Because last time I heard that kind of come here, a belt was behind it. No, Pop, don't be breaking no belt out here. Now I done made 44. He probably still try to break the belt out. Long story short, he places his hand on my shoulder and tells my mama, get over there. Oh, he gets in the orders out early. And they pray. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Yeah. You got to have some folks around you that can get a... You got to stop hanging out with folks that when you really need stuff to happen, they can't make it happen because they don't have that relationship. They're an associate. Is this thing on? Okay, let me get to the good part. Let me get to the happy stuff. I got a little bit of happy stuff in here. So let me see if I can get to that the other part. Because here's what's interesting. So this revelation, let the church say reveal. So Daniel goes to his friends, and God will uncover and unveil, hear me, the people who are associates and the people who are friends. Problem is, you want some associates to be in this category, and you want some of the people who are going to be friends to be in this category. Because you want to be the boss at all costs instead of having somebody who can step to you. You rather have a clan of persons around you who are yeah. Every time you say, hold it for a minute, play a pump, you pray. Because if everybody around you always agreeing, that's not me a cult. Because everybody up in here, everybody up in here comes from a different kind of background. And so when you get all of us together, that's why Acts chapter 2 happened the way it did, and we still praying to happen again. Because now says everybody was on what? One accord. When everybody on one accord, boy, you saw stuff happen. Peter come out there and preach the gospel. Thousands of people got saved. You trying to get this entire room right now on one accord. Somebody is down wishing he heard and finished, so I give you a sausage biscuit from Burger King. Somebody saying, I hope Pastor don't preach long today. The Redskins game gonna lose. They come on lose at 1 o'clock. Pastor, we can't have no long sermon today. Can you just get to it? And the whole while you being just as selfish and stubborn because you need a friend. You need a friend that will step to you and say, if football is your savior, you going to hell. Ain't nobody clap. Well, football is deep here. Ain't one person said, that's right, Pastor. Ain't nobody said nothing like that. Just hurry up, please. That's right, my boy with me. We'll be looking at you one day on Sunday. No, I'm gonna be sitting up in the little booth. I'm speaking. He coming, Jesus. Jesus, bring him on. I believe we can put him in Little League now. Don't get him started. Tell you, girl, he a piece. Look at him, he know it. Absolutely, boy. Speaking that over his life. He will have a star on his helmet. So here, let's see what y'all stop playing. We in church. So here's what's interesting. So we I'm finished, man. So here's what's interesting, saying, you know, he needs some friends. Hear this, that can help him seek God to save lives. Did y'all hear that? He needs some people around him, Sheila, that can help him save lives. He don't need nobody around him tripping. He needs some friends that are not out to solely remind him of his struggles, but some friends who can partner with him and hear his heart.
Yes.
And yes, it's true. Everybody in here can name 5 people who've made a dramatic impact in their lives. You can. It may be an extended family member, maybe a teacher, maybe a coach, maybe a pastor. Could be your best friend from high school. Could be your boss at your first job. Could be your neighbor, the crazy one always around the corner, but had your best interest at heart. I bet you can easily think of more than 5 people in less than a minute. Each one shaping you and influencing your life in a very profound way. So here's why. God made us in his image, as relational beings. I don't know if there's a bigger introvert in the room than me, but I still got to talk to people. Even though I run.
Come on now.
Still gotta talk. Because God has made us what? Relational beings.
Yes.
So it's no surprise that change happens in us within the context of our relationships. Let the church say relationships. And so when we look at this, then we've got to understand that this change really begins to happen in the context of relationships. So why is community so important to our process of living in freedom? It's not only about learning and growing together, it's about experiencing God's grace together. Knowing that my friend really needs God. They really need his grace right now. My friend really messed up. But they need the grace of God right now. Notice I'm not judging. I'm believing God's going to grace the situation and bring my buddy back. And when I begin to look at it in that vein, here's what I want you to hear. Real friends help you when you fall.
Oh, yeah.
Is this thing on? Did y'all hear me? Real friends help you when you fall. If all Hades is about to break loose and all your friends bounce,
Oh, Lord.
I'm reminded of my bishop's son is a good friend of mine. His name is LJ. LJ is now the, I don't know what they call it. I call him site pastor at the Mount Portsmouth, but they call it something else. But he over there ministering, worshiping, and all that, so he's site pastor. And if he's looking right now, I see it. So here's what's interesting, because we got to, anyway, don't worry about LJ. So here's what's interesting. LJ in high school got in a fight. And some guys jumped on him. All his friends left except Corey. Corey Jubilee. Corey was the only one that stayed and helped LJ. Years later, LJ is now overseeing the Mount Portsmouth, but he's in charge of logistics and a whole lot of stuff at the Mount Global Church, at our Global Fellowship. Guess what, Wayne? The dude named Corey runs media over the Global Church for the Mount. Okay, I'm going to go over here and see if we get it. See if we get
Yes,
it.
Corey.
Corey goes to school, majors in graphics, graduates, summa cum laude and all this kind of stuff, and he's out working somewhere else. LJ goes and says, man, you need to come to the Mount because we can ready to do some stuff with media that you, and why would he go do that, Amy? Perhaps because when he needed a friend.
Yes.
And now you got Corey training people at Celebration. Y'all see how this works?
Yes.
So because this guy showed himself to be a real friend, now Corey, and because that, I'm trying to help somebody this morning. Because of that relationship, dog, Corey and LJ now are investors together. Because they proved a long time ago, this guy has my back. And so now they're going out buying properties together, flipping houses. They barely 30. Because real friends help you when you fall.
Yes.
And if they help you when you fall, they can help you when you rise. Boy, I feel like shouting right there. And so let's not hold you too long. There has to be a recognition. Can y'all hear me okay now?
Yes.
I'm gonna go on up here and say this. There's got to be a recognition of something in this place. Only God can forgive sins. Anytime we forgiving sins, we taking God's place. Well, Pastor, how can you say that? Okay, let me show you. Lord have mercy. Here we go. Now, that doesn't guarantee, because God forgive you, that you're not going to mess up again. Well, how can you say that, Pastor? Paul said, when I want to do good, evil is right there. Paul called himself a wretch. He said, oh, wretched man I am. Who shall deliver me, watch what he says, from the body of this death? In the next breath, he says, I thank God. He can. Are you listening to me? So God can forgive sins. What we can do is say, Wayne, I forgive you, and then remind you every chance I get. Why quiet in here? Why is it quiet? That's because now Wayne done made me hot. You follow what I'm saying? He done made me hot. And now me and him got a disagreement, and now he broke my heart. You understand? So now we come back, everything cool. You follow me? Everything good. And then every time I say, man, you remember when? God says when he forgives you, he throws it away. He said he throws it to the sea of, I got some folk in here read the Bible book. Amen, somebody. So when we begin to look at this, I want you to hear this, that real friends help you when you fall.
Yes.
And God is the one who forgives sins. So stop being judgmental. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to mess up. In fact, when we left our own devices, can I tell you something? We're going to fail time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. So now, God provides a solution. A system that relies on our identity, as I told you before, as a relational being. And here's what I want you to hear. Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The earnest prayer of a righteous person has great power and produces wonderful results. James chapter 5, verse 16. Now let me share something with you. Remember a while ago, I said you got to know who your associates are and who your friends are? Don't go telling your associates what you don't want Facebook to know. Is this thing on? Don't go telling your associates that. There are going to be a whole lot more people over here than over here. So now, when you got something really going on, you go to your friend if you want to talk about something. And that friend got to be somebody that help you when you fall.
Right.
Are y'all listening to me?
Yes.
Because I'm telling you right now that you can't just go to any and everybody. Because any and everybody going to tell any. So the first is revelation. Let's not hold you too long. Number 2 is confirmation. This is really where I wanted to get to. There's one other point, very short, but this is really what I wanted to get to. And Johnny, this is interesting because when Daniel approaches his friends, he receives confirmation. This morning, sitting at my desk, when Pastor Simmons texted me, I received confirmation. All right? Now, even though they are in dire straits, his friends say, if we going down praying together. Is this thing on Sam? I need to make sure it's on. It's on. I'm going to be preaching real good. Sam over there scratching her head and everything. I'm doing good. Here's what's interesting, y'all, because even though they're in dire straits, his friends say, if we are going down, we going down praying with you. Notice they are not like the others, praying, P-R-E-Y, against them. They are P-A-R-Y, praying for him.
Yes, yes.
So now, as a matter of fact, they are in this situation because others looked the part, but were vessels of contamination that had people on the brink of being killed. Okay, let me see, how can I say this? Be careful, as there are people strategically placed trying to subdue your anointing. Look at your neighbor and say, be careful, neighbor. Because there are people strategically placed trying to subdue your anointing. in knowing this, God will use, now here go what's crazy though. Can I tell you what's crazy, Orange? Right when you know the difference between a friend and an associate, now God gonna use you to save the associate's life. And you know you want to let them fall. Y'all don't want to be real in here. Let me talk to this crowd over here. This crowd over here real. You know, goodness well, them folks that rub you in a way, you just want to let them fall, like fall flat on your face. Like splat, fall flat on your face. And then God says, no, I need you to help them. It's amazing how he does this. So now you've got to go and you've got to help them. Look at the church and say, help y'all. Yeah. Now, in moments like this, I can tell you what's happening, though. Your friends are confirmed. Ooh, boy. When one of your friends see you helping an associate, if they are a true friend, they would know that there's a reason you're helping the associate instead of getting. And so when we look around at this, saints, it's interesting right down through in here. Because when we develop relationships, we get involved in each other's ups and downs, trials and triumphs. And basically, here's what we do. We do life together. We help each other grow, and we develop more spiritual muscle. We began trusting each other and sharing honestly and openly. We began trusting each other and sharing honestly and openly. We began trusting each other and sharing honestly and openly instead of hiding behind the political, social customs we have been conditioned to uphold. Solomon says it like this. Y'all ready for this? Mm-hmm. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. And the church said, amen. Now watch this, cause now y'all, here's why I told y'all I want to get to this point. Y'all will probably think bad enough to pray for me, preacher. Here's what's interesting. In the movie Lean on Me, I have to make sure everybody gets that. All right. In the movie Lean on Me, there's this scene, and the Saints at Celebration know that I like to teach, with visual illustrations like you see in the PowerPoints and stuff. I really wanted to play this clip, though. I really did. But we ain't that free. We find in freedom. Right. And Sister Preacher, I really wanted to kind of, but we ain't that free. It's a scene in Lean On Me. It's about 3 minutes and 31 seconds long. And in this scene are two of the best actors that I have ever seen. That is Robert Guillaume and Morgan Freeman. They are in a conference room. And Guillaume, I think he's the superintendent, they get in this heated dispute. And Guillaume tells Freeman, who's Joe Clark, listen to what he says, because he preaches through this thing and we really hear it. You are alienating everybody. That's what he says to him. He says, you are alienating everybody. Mm-hmm. He says, he goes on to say, I ought to walk out on your, and I couldn't put that in the manuscript. He said, I ought to walk out on you, but I want you to hear what he said after that, Mother Lily. He says, but I said I would back you up. He said, I ought to walk out on you, but I said I'm going to back you up. And Freeman says, well, it don't look like you backing up. He says it in those words, and then I can't say his words. And then it goes something like this. That's what you said. Only for Guillaume to now tell him, you've gone plain local. Mm-hmm. You're going crazy. What is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. And Guillaume says something now that marks his true plight as a friend to Clark. And I want you to hear this, y'all. I want y'all to hear this. He says, your personal battles are going to cost us the war. I told you, he preaching throughout this clip. You need to go look at it. I didn't bleep it out. I listened to the cussing and everything. because I wanted to get the gist of the conversation. He says to him, saints, that your personal battles are going to cost you the war. I got a question for the saints today. What friend do you have that can step to you and say your personal battle is going to cost you the war? What friend in your life, Gary Lee Dickens, my bad. I'm sorry, Pam. Gary Dickens. Deacon Dickens. But now you got to ask yourself this question, Saint. What friend do you have that can come to you? And I want to quote it the way he says it. I want to quote it the way he says it. What personal friend do you have, and here's the quote, that can say to you, your personal battles, I want you to hear this, are going to cost us the war. I'm going to stop rewind and play. Wayne, I'm going you again. Your personal battles are going to cost us the war. It's your battle, but we in it together.
There you go.
Your battle going to cost us the war. What friend do you have that can come to you and say, this going to cost us the war? Now watch this, because Guillaume, rather than being rather tactfully, reminds Clark. He reminds him of something right here, saints. Watch what he reminds him of. He says, let me see, how can I say this? He slams his briefcase down. He had one of them two buttons on it, clamps the two buttons, and pounded his fist on the briefcase and said, contrary to popular belief, I am. And he jumped across that barrier with his briefcase, went to the door, and here is what frees us. Now come on, let's go get some lunch. Y'all missing the revelation. Your personal battle is going to cost us the war. Now, contrary to popular belief, he had fired a teacher that he shouldn't have fired, had locked the doors to the church, had locked the doors to the building, and there was one old crazy lady around there that was giving him a fit. He done locked her out. You know she done told him. And he told him, to undo all of that because he was in charge. He then hops across this barrier, gets to the door, looks back at him and says, now come on, let's go get something to eat. Name your friend that can do that. And here's what's interesting. Here's what I love. He gets to the door and says, now come on, get something to eat. Morgan Freeman walks to the door, looks at him and says, you think you bad, don't you? Did y'all see that? What just happened? Like they're in a really heated discussion that's very relevant. Yet at the end of the day, real friends don't leave when you fall. So that's the final piece of this is you would think that this comes second, but it actually for the revelation and what we're teaching today comes last, the examination. It's because Daniel has friends. He's got friends that got his back. He's got friends that's got his back. Now, how do you respond to friends who have your back? Daniel shows us, and I'm out. As he interprets Nebuchadnezzar's, the king's dream. Here's what I want you to hear, Olive. This guy go and promote and go and interprets the dream and gets promoted. It's the shout, well, at least it is for me. I'm kind of corny. But here's what's crazy. He interprets the dream and gets promoted. That's good news, right?
Yeah.
But it gets better. Watch this. He does something. At Daniel's request, the king appointed Hananiah,
Yes.
Mishael, and Azariah to be in charge of to be in charge of all the affairs, watch this y'all, not just Franklin,
Lord.
but over the whole province. That's a shame I got to explain provinces in this manner, because you know we got provincial bishops today. And provincial bishops oversee regions. You follow me? Like the Mid-Atlantic region, that's a province, so to speak. And so now, these guys are foreigners.
Yes. That's true.
And now they're in charge of all the affairs of the province of Babylon. What's this? Well, Daniel remained in the king's court. Can I tell you what a real friend does for you? When I go, you go.
Right.
When I go up, you go up. Y'all, I'm not making it up. Look at the text. At Daniel's what? At Daniel's what? You do know the king has no clue the other ones were even praying. Like, they wouldn't have been able to do anything unless Daniel showed them a friend. Like, I'm not going to let you think that I prayed and got this all by myself. Now, out of all the wise men you got, there were only 3 that I teamed up with. It's funny that it's 3. One for the... Y'all starting to get this thing in. Y'all starting to get it. One for the Father, one for the Son, and one for the... It's interesting now. Let me close. Let me close because this is a teaching sermon. We're going to preach next time. Now watch this. Let me close. Isn't it amazing that God elevates Daniel, Belteshazzar, that's his other name. But he elevates Daniel. He promotes him over the king's affairs. He remains in the king's court. He walks around in luxurious robes. You understand? Tailor-made stuff. He got the fancy sandals on. So he walks around the king's court, but he's not going to walk around the king's court and forget who helped him get there. So his boys are elevated. Somebody said Daniel chapter 2. The same folk they helped save their lives in the next chapter lied on them. Are y'all in here today? I'm trying to show you your friend. The same folk, they just saved their lives. They saved their lives, Shanae. Are you listening to me? They saved their lives. In the next chapter, they went and told the king, you the bomb. We need you to create a statue. And everybody in the land need to bow to your statue because you the bomb. There ain't no God before you. And so his head then got blown up. And he said, okay, then let's make it be. And they signed all these decrees. And these 3 men, because see now, they're over a province. See, they were known in chapter 2 outside of Daniel. Right. Now everybody know them in Babylon. Because they're over the province. And so they're not bowing down to a false god. So then they set it up that way. Then they go back to the king saying that the 3 you elevated.
Go ahead now.
They're not listening to you. Then the king said, don't bring them here. Because see, when folks think they get you somewhere, they think they can tell you what to do when you get there. Right. I'm going to say that for another day. But here's what's interesting. So they come. And he said, now when when you hear these musical instruments go off, y'all better bow up in here. Right. The boys said, well, king, ain't no need for us to waste your time. We ain't going to bow. The God we serve is a keeper. Yes. And he's able to keep us against your fury. Yes. And if he chooses not to, he's still able. Yes. Bible says when you begin to look at the Hebrew picture of this particular text there in Daniel chapter number 3, that the king is so enraged that he's snorting like a mad bull. There's snot coming from his nose. There's steam coming from his being because he's so mad that they won't bow to him because he figured he done put them up there because of his board and now they turn their back on him. He said, throw him in the furnace, turn it up 7 times hotter. And they threw him in the furnace. Just elevated them, daughter, in chapter number 2. Now here in chapter number 3, the same folk they have saved, throwing them in the fire. I wish I had time today. And so now what happens, Sheila, they in the fire. They go in there bound. They done tied them up and everything. Just going to let them burn to a crisp. Bible said the brother looked in there and saw him. What's up, yo? They're walking around. And he said, hold on for a minute. This is what gets me about the text. He said, I thought we threw in 3. That messes with me. Because we just threw them in a fire. I don't care how many we threw in there. They're supposed to be burning up. He gonna look in there and say, I thought we threw in 3. No, hold it, player. Pump your brakes. We just threw folks in a fire and they walking around. You talking about how many we throw in. I'm talking, if one walking around, that's a miracle right there. You talking about. You talking about, I thought we threw. I'm like, what is wrong with him when I'm reading this text? He's like, I thought we threw in 3. I see 4. And then he blows my mind. He said, the 4th one looks familiar. I wish I got to close it. I got to close it. But the 4th one looks familiar. He said, he looks like the Son of God. And then the fire is turned up 7 times hotter. That's where he made the mistake.
That's right.
Because the only thing he was doing was completing their promotion. Boy, if I had time, we're supposed to be teaching. We're supposed to be teaching this. We're supposed to be teaching. So they turn it up 7 times hotter. Burning everybody else up, dog. Everybody else that burn up. The king goes there and don't get burned. Said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They said, what's up, dog?
Go ahead.
Y'all come on out. Bible said them brothers came out. Didn't even smell like smoke. They were paying. And then he says, from now on, as in he didn't get it in chapter 2. I got to close. As though he didn't get it in chapter 2 when he saw God interpret his dream. Maybe he gets it in chapter 3. When God brings him out of a fire that had been turned up 7 times hotter. Because I want to tell you something. Real friends stick with you even if you get thrown in the fire. And if that friend decides they want to trip that day, the king said, when I looked in there, I know we threw in 3, but I see somebody else walking around in the fire. If your friends all decide to turn their back on you, I got a sneaky suspicion that there is a king who will walk in the fire. Somebody say yeah. Look at your neighbor and say, show me your friends. All over the building, everybody stand.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Ooh, Jesus, boy, I feel like going on. I feel like going on. I feel like going on, mother. I feel like going on. It's good news, saints, that when you're thrown in the fire, when you're in ICU, that the King of Kings will come stand in the room and heal your body. I said it's good to know that even when you're going through, that the King of Kings, the King of Kings, the King of Kings, he's right there. Yeah. Right there. I said he's right there. I tried to end the story there, but I can't end the story there. Somebody say he's walking with me. They messed around and tripped up. They thought the Hebrew boys threw them in the fire. But if you read on a little bit further, the one that got them the promotion, they said that he was tripping. Threw him in a lion's den received it. And threw Daniel in a lion's den. He didn't want to do it, but they had crossed him up, threw him in the den of hungry lions. There he sat all night. There he sat with his hands crossed, saying, "The God I serve." Somebody say he's able. Come on, tell he's able. As soon as daybreak, they opened up the den. The king runs and said, "Hey, Daniel, are you still there? Is your God able to keep you from falling? Is your God able to prop you up? Is your God able to pull the wind out? Oh, King, oh, King, oh, King, live forever." Yeah! Beautiful time. Glory to God. Look at the name and say, "Can we just praise him right here? Can we just give him some glory right here? Can we just raise our hands right here? Can we just lift up the Savior right here?" Yes! Oh! With every head bowed, the song that's leaping in my spirit is "I Feel Like Going On."
Hallelujah. Yes.
We about. I feel like going on.
Yes, God.
Don't you mess around and let associates make you quit. Don't you mess around and let associates make you quit.
Though trials come,
Who is it that can step to you?
on every
You posting us the battle.
hand, I feel like going.
Who is it that can come to you? You costing us the battle. Now come on, let's go get some lunch.
Hey.
Feel like going on. Though trials come,
They show up, saints.
on every hand,
I feel.
I feel like going on.
Come on, can the church say yes?
Let the church say yes.
Come on, all in the building, lift your voice, yes.
Yes.
My soul says
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. Oh.
My soul says yes.
Come on, saints, tell it yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes, yeah, yeah. Father, we thank you. What our eyes have seen and our ears have heard. Today you've challenged us to show our friends. And you remind us throughout the scriptures time and time again what a friend looks like and what an associate looks like.
Yes.
This morning we're so grateful for a friend that sticks closer than a brother.
Yes.
That even if our mother and father forsake us, you said you will take us up. Thank you that you never leave us alone. And then you're so merciful, loving, and kind that you will allow someone in humanity to be a friend that we can talk to. And you're so much God that because we talk to them, you don't get jealous because we do so. You provide us that relational outlet. And we're grateful for it. But God, there are some persons in this room under the sound of my voice whose hearts have been broken. Their friends turned their backs on them.